Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. We are live. Well, if you're watching live, that is. If we're not watching live and you're watching back after the fact, then welcome to AdamMcKola TV. Anyway, today's video, we are looking at all the latest Manchester United transfer news, rumours, links, all that good stuff. We have got daily content coming to you here on AdamMcKola TV, and we have kept it coming as well with more content on the way and plenty of content which has been uploaded recently. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you're going to check it out after we've finished here, and of course subscribe so you get the notifications when the new uploads come out. As I said, we have got daily content here on AdamMcKola TV, and we're trying to hit 75k by the end of the season. At least that's what the target was when the season was a normal season. Now we don't even know when the season's going to restart, when the season's going to finish. So by the end of May, we want to hit 75k. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. And today we have got so much to chat about. We're looking at the latest transfer rumours, including Jadon Sancho, Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, and of course Thomas Lemar, who has been linked with Manchester United. Now, it's obviously lockdown central at the moment. A lot of you guys are probably stuck in your houses and stuck in wherever you are, uni, at student halls with your friends, or I'm not sure where you're at right now, but you're probably stuck in. Most people aren't able to leave their houses as we speak because of the pandemic that has struck the world. And guys, I'm with you. I'm with you. That's why I'm dedicated to bringing you daily content here on AdamMcKola TV, because I am with you. We are all missing football right now. And BMW Racing says, how's the football withdrawal symptoms? I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well at all. Yesterday was decent. I had my brother's birthday. We had a little drink. We had a little laugh with the people that are in the house. Obviously, not many people can come around at the moment with this coronavirus situation. So we had the people that live here, had a little party, as you can do. The party is still carrying on in that room. I've come out to do this video. I'm going to go back and join it soon. I've got a little JD right here. So within the house, we're having a little celebration and we're having a little party with the family that live together. But it's obviously a little bit of a lockdown thing. No one can go out. No one's coming round. No one's popping out. But no matter what happens, we're all in it together. And we all just need to take these sensible steps to just lock off, stay at yard, not go around, not go into busy areas and pubs and clubs and all these places, and just chill out a little bit, have a little drink, stay at home. I've been self-isolating for 30 years. There's nothing wrong with it, believe me. Stay at home, try and keep your sanity, try and keep busy, try and keep doing things to keep you entertained. But most importantly, keep safe and keep those people around you safe as well by not dragging this damn coronavirus into the yard with you. You hear what I'm saying? Don't be bringing it home. Anyway, let me have a little sip of this. Then we'll get stuck back into the transfer news and the transfer stuff. So, Ian's been playing Football Manager 20. I've been doing a little bit of FIFA. Me and my brother were just having a few games. Earlier on today, I did record the video for tomorrow, which is going to be the Norwich vs Manchester United game in the FA Cup. FIFA 20 decides. So that'll be uploaded at around 4:30 p.m. tomorrow, and that is Sunday's video. So for Sunday, around the time the Norwich game would have kicked off, you'll get the FIFA 20 decides video. But right here today, we are talking about transfers, Manchester United transfers, and the first one we are going to look at is Thomas Lemar, who has been linked to Manchester United through ESPN, who say United have been looking at him for a little bit of a while. Now, Atletico Madrid knocked out Liverpool of the Champions League when football was still going, and Thomas Lemar was on the bench for that game. Thomas Lemar hasn't really been used by Diego Simeone, and he's not really been in the form that earned him the move to go to Atletico Madrid in the first place. Now, obviously, he had a decent time out in Ligue 1. He's a player that has been highly touted and highly thought of and linked with many clubs. Now, he went to Atletico Madrid. Now, at the time, I thought it was a little bit of a sauce move because obviously Atletico are a fantastic side and Diego Simeone is a fantastic manager. But they play a certain style of football and they were never going to get the best out of Thomas Lemar. Now, Thomas Lemar is probably looking for a move and he's been linked with Manchester United. Now, Atletico Madrid spent around 60 million euros on Thomas Lemar, give and take with additions and add-ons and all that kind of stuff. Now, with that happening, it probably means you can get him for around 40-50 million pounds. He hasn't been tearing it up at Atletico Madrid. He hasn't bolstered his value. So surely you can get him for around that value or a little bit less now. We know how the transfer market is at the moment. And with there being no Euros this year, Thomas Lemar hasn't got that chance to boost his fee if he was in the France squad. So you're looking at it and you're thinking, how much can you get him for? Now he plays on the left. He is flexible. He can play on the right. He can play in behind. He can play on, the left of the front three. But he is stronger on the left. False 9 if you really wanted to, but I don't think that's his best position. Now, if you did bring him in, whose position is he going to be coming into? Marcus Rashford's. Now he's not going to get in ahead of Marcus Rashford because he's not better than Marcus Rashford. He's not better than Marcus Rashford, so he's not going to be getting in there. But what we're doing is you could get then an alternative. You could get an alternative where you can play Marcus Rashford then through the middle. You can play him as a 2 through the middle. You can play Lemar in behind and the left, on the right, whatever. But he wouldn't be first choice. And that's why I don't think this move is going to happen. I don't think this one is going to happen. And you also look at it, Advait says not another left winger. We've got a lot of players in that position. If we're going to get anything sorted, it's going to be that right-hand side and it's going to be the right wing. And it's going to be another guy that we're talking about later on today in this video. And you already know what his name is. His name is Jadon Sancho. You know we're going to be talking about him. And that's why I don't think this Thomas Lemar move is happening. Now, it could be a good alternative to have if you wanted to get a wide player. But like we're saying, he's stronger on the left. He's not stronger on the right. We need to get that right-hand side sorted. Because if we think Marcus Rashford's going to be the man on the left, then you're not going to need to. If Marcus Rashford's going to be on the left, then you're going to want to get that right-hand side sorted. Because I don't think Daniel James is the man to be playing week in, week out going forward. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad squad player. But for me, he's not the man to be playing week in, week out going forward. Remember, guys, this is AdamMcKola TV. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Get your super chats in as well. I'll be reading those out. I'll be reading your comments out as well about Thomas Lemar, about Jadon Sancho, about Pierre, Emerick, or Aubameyang. And once we've spoken about those 3 players, I will be answering some of your questions as well. Now, Andre says, please, not Aubameyang. We don't need him. Flowrider says Sancho, Marshall, Rashford with the flames emoji. And Glenn says, good God, we don't need another left. Stop talking my words, please. Sancho is top priority. Maybe Saul, but not Real. And that's the thing. If we're talking about any Thomas right now, we need to be talking about Thomas Partey. That's who we need to be talking about, not Thomas Lemar. We need to be talking about Thomas Partey. Because that's the player that we do need. And that's the Thomas that we do need. Not Thomas Lemar. But a player that we could get. A player that we do need. A player that will play in a position that we need to be filling. Is Jadon Sancho. Now, Jadon Sancho has been linked with Manchester United for about 6, 12, 18, 24 months. He's been linked probably ever since he left Manchester City to join Borussia Dortmund. Now, he's doing fantastically well out there in Borussia Dortmund. And he's been linked with Manchester United continuously. Now, earlier on today, Marcus Rashford tweeted him, and because he's raising money at the moment for a charity, and he's trying to get food and things like that raised. I love Marcus Rashford. Check out his timeline and donate if you can to the charities that he's supporting, or any of your local charities that are out there helping the homeless people or those that need food in these kind of times when people can't work and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, make sure you check that out. But Marcus Rashford, in and amongst that, someone said, I'll donate 50 quid if you can give a cheeky little word to Jadon Sancho to join United, which he then did on Twitter, just saying, oi Jadon Sancho, here's a word, at Jadon Sancho. And obviously that got everyone talking. But Jadon Sancho has been linked with the club for a while now, and we do hear that Jadon Sancho today, reports are coming out saying that he has agreed, or he has set his heart on joining the Premier League. Now, he didn't say whether that's Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, I don't know who, Liverpool, City. He's not going to go back to City. It'd be Liverpool, United or Chelsea surely. But he didn't say who the club would be. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United would be fantastic for us, obviously. We need someone on that right-hand side. And as mentioned earlier in the comments, Sancho, Rashford and Martial as a front three is something special. And it would be a joy to behold. If we can get that 3 together, I would be really, really delighted, and hopefully we can make that one happen. So Jadon Sancho continues to be linked with Manchester United, but we can't take that one for granted because of the fact Chelsea and Liverpool will be in after him as well. And Borussia Dortmund are going to be looking to get some sort of... The good thing is they're looking to sell him. They know they're going to sell him. That's the good thing about this situation. They know they're going to be selling this chap. So when that happens, it makes it a little bit easier in terms of negotiating. But what happens is other teams come in for him. So then you got Chelsea might come in for him. Liverpool might come in for him. You've got other clubs that will come in for him. And obviously they can offer big money. They can offer Champions League football. They can offer different things. Now, Manchester United can still compete. Financially, we can compete. Wages, we can compete. Who knows on the Champions League football front at this moment in time? Liverpool are probably the only ones that are dead set that could offer that. You know, United and Chelsea's was still up in the air. But when you look at that, you think Sancho to United would be a move that we could possibly make happen. And it'd be one that fit in straight away. And it'd fit in with the remit as well, I think. When you look at the kind of players we've been signing, not just British, but it looks like he's got that tunnel vision on improving himself and winning trophies. And that's the kind of attitude we need. You look at Marcus Rashford, he has that. You know, you need your players to start having that I want to win every single game attitude. And he is one of those players. And Jadon Sancho has seemingly set his hearts on a move back to the Premier League. He's obviously been linked with moves to Spain, Italy as well. But it looks like he's set his heart on a move to the Premier League. And fingers crossed, Manchester United will be at the front of the crew when Jadon Sancho is being sold. Whenever that is, who knows what happens with the transfer window and all that kind of stuff. If Pogba leaves, then so must be signed, says Andre. Sancho is looking good, but do you think we'll be able to cut it in the Premier League? As it's a big gamble, says Glenn. I do think he'll be able to cut it. Now, not just because he's English, but actually being schooled in England, coming through in England as a kid, as a boy, you know, playing academy football. He'll be used to English football and the style of English football. And I don't think German football is that far away. Now, the quality levels at the lower clubs may be a little bit different. But I don't think the style of play is that much different in Germany to where it'd be a culture shock for him. Now, obviously, he's going to have to readapt and the pace of the game will be a little bit different. But I think he's a player that, you look, he plays for England. He's played in England before. I think he'd be absolutely fine with coming to a Premier League and coming to Man United. And I think he'd be absolutely fine with the pressures that he'd hold as well. Leaving Manchester City, going to Dortmund and looking to prove a point. You know, it's not the biggest clubs in the world, City and Dortmund. But nevertheless, he backed himself. He went away. There would have been pressure on him to do well. And he did just that. So you have to take your hat off to him. Because he's done really well. Andre says, what about Grealish? Any news? We'll look for some Grealish news a little bit later on today. But the third story that we're going to be talking about is Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, who has been linked with Manchester United. He's been linked with a whole host of moves because of the fact that his contract comes to an expiry at the end of next season. Well, let's say next summer his contract expires. We don't know when this season ends and the next season begins and the next season ends. Aubameyang's contract ends next summer. So it's a possibility he could be leaving this summer or this year because of the fact his value is going to plummet. He's going to have no value next season for Arsenal. Now, we've seen Arsenal do this in the past. Players begin to feel they're outgrowing the club, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang looks to be doing that. Now, Arsenal fans might not want to admit that, but even Ian Wright, who's a big Arsenal fan and a big Arsenal legend, and I like Ian Wright. He came out earlier and said, you know, it'd probably be for his best, you know, for him to leave because they're at a different level at this moment in time, and you've got to agree. Now, can Manchester United offer him a team that would be able to challenge for trophies immediately, the Premier League and the Champions League? Well, you look at if we had a good summer and he came in, you'd think he could be a big part of that. But do you see him coming to Manchester United? First of all, I don't see Arsenal selling him to us. Second of all, I don't see him being a priority. Thirdly, it would be big money nevertheless, regardless of the fact that his contract expired too soon. I just don't think it's a move that would make happen. I think we're more likely to see something like AdamMcKola sign permanently, use him as a rotation, keep pushing Martial, keep pushing Rashford, and not signing or not spending too much of a big money, as I try and speak over the sirens yet again, not spending too big of a money on a striker and looking to get that right winger, someone like Jadon Sancho, spend the money there, someone in the midfield area, spend the money there, and maybe bolstering your defence as well. But I don't see us spending huge amounts of money, which, look, regardless of whether his contract's coming to an expiry or not, you'd be still spending big money on him, 60, 70, 80, 90 million on Aubameyang. And if that's the case, it's not going to happen because United are going to be looking to spend their money elsewhere. and I can't see us signing him at all. If he leaves, I imagine it will be to Italy. Inter Milan have been linked with him, or Spain potentially. I can't see him coming to Manchester United at all. So as much as it'd be hilarious to wind up Arsenal fans, I don't see this one happening. Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, I don't think so. So let's rate the transfers that have been rumoured today. Thomas Lemar to Manchester United. I'd give that one a 4 out of 10. Maybe something that could happen if United missed out on Jadon Sancho, but I don't think Man United are going to be signing Thomas Lemar. I'd much rather see us linked with Thomas Partey. Jadon Sancho, I think, is an 8 out of 10. I think that's a high possibility. Obviously, we're going to have competition for him, but I think there's truth in the interest. I think there's the ability to be able to pay for him is there. We can compete financially for him. Obviously, we'll have competition, and that's where the question mark comes. But I think that one's an 8 out of 10. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I think that's about a 2 out of 10, a 3 out of 10. I don't think that one's going to happen at all. I don't think he'll be coming to Manchester United. I think they could just be linking our name to him in order to bolster his price or bolster contract offers that he'd receive from elsewhere, whether that's Arsenal or other clubs. So I don't think Aubameyang will be coming to Manchester United. Glenn says, why are we not in for Adama? I don't see the big need. He's obviously a talented player and he's a good player. Wolves aren't in a position to be selling, and I don't think he's a player we should be really looking for. I'd much rather us go out and get Jadon Sancho, to be totally honest with you. Andre says Sancho an 8 out of 10, same as me, and Lemar as a plan B, a 5 out of 10. Shivesh says Sir Phil Jones being wanted by West Ham, Newcastle for around £10 million. And if you guys haven't heard, that has been linked more recently. Phil Jones being linked with a move away from Manchester United, Newcastle and West Ham. And I think Brighton may have been mentioned, but I may have made that up. Have been linked with a move for him for around £10 to £15 million. It'd be good if we could get some money for him. I think we spent around that much on him when we bought him back in the day. Obviously, big disappointment. Big disappointment. Obviously, there's a video of me saying he'd be United captain and England captain one day. And he's never lived up to the potential that he had due to injuries and various other reasons, maybe chopping and changing of managers and just maybe not being good enough in the end. And it'd be a disappointing one if he left, but it's a move that should be happening soon. Jay says thoughts on the Bale links. I don't think Gareth Bale will ever be coming to Manchester United, seeing as it's not happened yet. Stoic says Pogba, a world-class player, but not for United. United should sell him. I'd be loving Pogba to stay at Manchester United, but I've read out your opinion, and that is your opinion. SMS is being linked to us too, says Dembembe. James and Adama, too similar. Adama's better than James, that's for sure. Imagine having Adama on the right wing and subbing James once he's gassed out, totally killed the opponent. I've not seen a Sam Ormwood video, whatever that is. Fair play to him, he's doing well at the moment, Sam. Someone's talking about lung capacity in there. Guys, get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. We have been talking about Jadon Sancho, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Thomas Lemar and their links to Manchester United. And we're going to wrap this show up with an answer to some of your questions. So get your comments and your super chats in, and please get hitting that like button. Of course, subscribe to AdamMcKola TV as well. We've got daily content coming your way. We've had daily content for the last couple of weeks now, and we're going to be keeping that up for as long as I possibly can. Until I get struck down by the Rona, we'll be keeping that going. So make sure you're hitting that like button as well. Oliver wants Saint Maximin. Anything on Gomez? Says Shivesh. Nothing on Gomez yet. Nothing else on his future, whether he's going to be signing or not. We haven't heard anything further on Angel Gomez's future. That isn't red wine. It's a JD and Coke in a weird Game of Thrones glass. So it isn't red wine. I don't really like wine. Thank you, Gear, for liking the video. I am 30 years old, ZOT. This season is a write-off, says Mr. Ramal. I tend to agree with you. I don't think this season is going to get resolved anytime soon. I think this issue in the pandemic could be an issue that's floating around for a little bit longer. And with that being said, I can't see it being resolved and football continuing in the next month. With that being said, you're then dragging it on to, if you restart the football around May, It's not going to end till around June. Will football start at the beginning of May? Probably not. So I can see it dragging on for a long time. Excuse me. And I don't think we'll have the league resolved by July. So if that's the case, what happens the next season? Richard says, how are you coping without the pubs? I go to pubs on match days a lot, so because there's no match days, I don't really miss them during the week and stuff. I'll go to the pub down the road for a little mixed grill and a pint every now and then, but it's not as much of a regular occurrence for me as it is for others. I tend to have a beer or something at home a little bit more often. I don't look 30, thank you very much. I'll be sending you your fiver soon, Perker, for that comment. I miss Manchester United games, damn, says Ilya. And I miss Manchester United games too. I'm missing the football a lot right now. But we're trying to keep our sanity here on AdamMcKola TV, keep things going. It may require a little bit more drink, a little bit more JD and Coke, but we're going to keep going. Are you surprised how quickly Bruno found his feet and Morse is down? A little bit surprised. He has done really well since arriving. Obviously, you never know when a little dip in form was going to come, and that could have been around the corner at any time. We need to stick with him, but he's showing fantastic form, and he's showing that he's really settled, not only on the pitch but off the pitch as well. He looks like a great character. I think no football until August at the earliest. I think that's a possibility. I do think that's a possibility. Atif says 43 likes, at least 100 regulars in here. Hit that button. I don't even have to say it because Atif has said it for you. Basbo, love from Australia. Stay well. You too, mate. And everyone around the world, wherever you're watching from, make sure you're keeping well and staying safe and staying away from the Rona. United's price is going down on the market. Probably won't have money to get any signs. Now, I don't think that's the case, but with TV money and stuff like that, that's why I can see the league actually restarting behind closed doors. I can see every club testing their players, getting players that do have it isolated away, curing them up, and starting the football in like a month or two. I can see that happening behind closed doors, because of the money that's involved in there being no football. Do you know what I mean? Is there a possibility for Sancho, Bruno and Pogba? I was playing on FIFA today against my brother and United, because obviously on the videos I've been doing for the channel FIFA 20 Decides, we're keeping it as realistic as possible. So with Pogba just returning from injury, Rashford being injured, I haven't been able to play our full strength team, but I was playing my brother and I was using Martial, Rashford, Bruno, Pogba. Oh, so good. Now I know that's only FIFA, but imagine when we can actually get our whole team out there together. Be amazing. Darcy says, do you have any love for Villa or Birmingham City, being from Birmingham? I don't know, not really. No. I used to work for both clubs as a coach back in the day. When I was 16, 17, 18, I worked as a coach, going to schools and stuff. And I used to take my United jacket with me and wear that. And I remember some of the school kids thinking the United scout had turned up. Unlucky for them, it wasn't. I was just coaching for Villa and Birmingham at local schools. I don't know. One of my uncles supports Villa. I know people that support Blues, but don't really watch out for their results or anything like that. If my dad didn't support United and bring me up as a United fan, I can imagine then I may have been drawn to Villa because my locality when I was growing up as a kid. I grew up in Lascelles and Aston, and I'm closer to that, so that would have been the case. But my dad and my uncle brought me up as a United fan, took me to games as a kid, and never looked back. Shout out from India, Sancho alternatives, says Aman Mitra. We've spoken about Thomas Lemar earlier. Who else could be an alternative for him? Who else do I like out there? I don't even know who even plays right wing these days, and there's quality out there. I Can't even think of anyone. Maybe the JD's hit me a little bit. My ethnicity is, my mum's Irish and my dad's Indian, but they're both born in England, so their parents are Irish and Indian, but my parents are born in England, so that's why I look brown, but I look a little bit beige because I'm Irish and Indian, but I'm English because I'm born here. I used to go Ellen Road, early 90s with a Man U top underneath. Big up Bradford, says Dan. Nabry's someone who people should be trying to sign, says Dylan. What part of Ireland do your family come from? Northern Ireland, Belfast. But they class themselves as Irish. Not that I like to get involved in all that palaver. If it were a centre-back, Upamecano, Skriniar has poor agility and he's soft. We've been linked to Diego Godin as well. Yanazai for right wing. What is your... Yes, Oliver. A little bit Latina heat. Yeah, I'm proud to live in England and be from England and be born in England. But I'm also proud of my roots as well. But yeah, I love it. I love England for that reason, that being English is feeling like being everything. The way I grew up was a madness. I grew up around everyone and everything. Man said a POV guy. Shoaib says he chose my trim to the barber. Unlucky, man. You don't want to be doing that, bro. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to AdamMcKola TV today. It has been a great transfer stream and a great transfer chat. Make sure you're keeping it liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. Maddison or Grealish for me every single day, and not just so he can jump in my car for the lifts to Old Trafford. So yes guys, thank you for watching the channel. Did you see what I did down there? I figured something new out on OBS and I thought I'd play around with it. I'm learning something new every day, and we're going to keep trying to up the levels here on AdamMcKola TV and keep things improving and keep things rising. So make sure you're keeping it locked. For now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out.